Good morning, students, and welcome back to this recorded session. Today, in science class, we are going to learn something about the natural resources. But what are natural resources, kids? Well, as the name said, natural resources are the elements obtained from Earth to satisfy human necessities. Okay, so all of them, my dears, all of them are natural resources. So we have a lot of materials, and they can be raw materials such as oil, iron, and wood. They can also be things that humans consume, such as water and animals. All of them are natural resources. Some natural resources are necessary for the survival of human beings, while others are used to make goods that satisfy invented needs. Things people want, right? Okay, so we have two types of them also. We have renewable and non-renewable resources. Well, let's talk about the non-renewable resources. What are them? Well, my dears, non-renewable means no renovable, right? So, we have some examples like the petroleum, like coal, and natural gas. So all of them are examples of non-renewable resources. So what happened here? We have to say that there is a limited supply of these substances on Earth. If human beings continue to use these type of resources at the current rate, they will use them up. These substances will no longer exist on the planet. Non-renewable resources are consumed every day. Petroleum is used for gas, for cars, and in goods like crayons, eyeglasses, tires, and also kids' soap. Natural gas is used in paint and plastics. Both petroleum and natural gas are used to create electricity. The coal has many uses, including making steel. The steel is then used to build bridges and buildings. Okay, so these type of resources are pretty important, kids, but we cannot recover it. Okay, so once they go away, my dears. Okay, now we have to talk about the renewable resources. We have learned something about the non-renewable, now we have to talk about the renewable resources. What are them? Well, my dears, the renewable resources do not run out. For example, sunlight and wind are renewable resources because there is an unlimited supply of these. Trees and water are also renewable resources. However, these must be used with caution because they take a long time to renew. So we got some examples with the plants, right? It takes years to grow new trees. And wind turbines generate large amount of energy on wind farms. And if for that reason that people try to use this type of renewable resources right now. Sunlight and wind are true renewable resources because they can provide electricity for homes and businesses. And they will never run out. They are constantly available. The biomass is the material from plants and animals, and it is also considered a renewable resource. Crops, garbage, wood, and even animal waste are sources of biomass. It is renewable because it is always possible to grow or make more. Now, kids, we have to continue learning about the biomass. Well, in this case, we have to learn something about the sustainable development. What is the sustainable development, kids? So, every development and most development in the world today is not sustainable. That means that the development currently relies on non-renewable resources. Sustainable development satisfies the present needs of human beings while protecting the planet and the needs of future generations. It does not overuse natural resources or pollute the environment. The environmental exploitation is one problem of globalization, and it is unrestrained exploitation of natural resources that makes the world bad. This is particularly true in periphery nations. Multinational corporations with factories in poor countries often pollute and overuse local natural resources. Some local practices also damage the environment. For example, illegal trade of rare animals and plants it is a common source of additional income in some poor nations. As a result, these countries often have the most serious environmental problems. But what are the people doing? What are the people doing, kids, in this case? Well, people are trying to make a global sustainability. According to sustainable development, that is a way to use resources for social and economic development on a global level without running out of resources. This type of development requires understanding the world as a single system. Actions in one part of the world affect resources of other parts and in other parts. For example, chemicals used to grow crops in Asia can affect water quality and marine life in South America. And it happens, my dears. The quality of life for everyone around the world depends on all nations practicing sustainable development. This requires the cooperation and the cooperation of the governments, private industry, and the individuals. Well, the government. When we say the government and we say sustainability, kids, we have to say that the government is the world, and all of the world governments must create policies that punish those who pollute or overuse resources. When we're talking about private industry, well, we have to say that are the companies which must work together to reduce the amount of pollution and create it a method to use fewer natural resources. And also the individuals, people like you and me, kids. People can use fewer resources by reducing consumption. This means buying only one of those things that are really necessary, recycling and also gardening and driving less, because the cars produces pollution. So if you consider all of that, so we can say that we are going to have a sustainability and we're going to have a sustainable world. Okay, so I hope that you like the class, my dears, and we have to say goodbye. Thank you.